Every human being fundamentally seeks a happy, healthy, wealthy experience of life. And part of living a happy, healthy, wealthy life is the constant pursuit or the constant allowance, rather, of personal growth. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the idea of glowing up. And I don't just mean in terms of your physical looks, although that's a part of it. That's a byproduct of what a real glow up is. But what a real glow up is embodying a new way of life, embodying a new way in which you carry yourself, how you feel about your day-to-day experiences, and overall living a happier, more passionate existence. So let's talk about 5 steps to glowing up, 5 things that I've applied in my own life that have really worked for me, and I've tried a lot of different tools. Some of these might seem a little basic. Some of these, you might not be applying, and they'll be helpful, but it's always good to get a refresher. So first things first is exercise, number one. I think people have this idea and this mindset that they have to be like David Goggins and exercise all the time, 24/7, push themselves, do things that they don't like to do. And while starting off any type of training regimen is important to exercise discipline, it's also important to find what you like and to work smarter. You don't need to be in the gym for 2 hours. You can get away with 45-minute workouts and, long daily walks, and you will build a fantastic physique. Exercise also makes life easier. People think the gym is hard, but what's really hard is feeling weak, out of breath, not being able to pick up things. Exercise is so important for longevity and is definitely the most important thing for glowing up. And I think what happens to a lot of gym goers is they start going to the gym for the physical benefits. They want to look better in the mirror, stuff like that. And then they slowly start to just feel really good in their bodies, and then they start to feel good mentally. And that's a huge part about glowing up, because everything that we fundamentally seek is that state of happiness, that state of being in love with life and open to life. And the gym and exercise of all kinds, sports, walking, biking, running, swimming, etc., is so, so, so important. So if you're starting out in the gym and you're trying to get a better looking body, that's great, that's awesome. But what you might also notice too is just how addictive it becomes. I would say now that I'm addicted to the gym, and it's the best addiction that I have. I love going. I think about it when I wake up in the morning. I love just throwing on some tunes and going, and it just always makes me feel better. So that's number one tip to glow up: exercise. Number two, following that, is nutrition, hydration, and sleep. So everyone knows that nutrition is important, and I'm going to give you the most simple nutrition advice I've ever heard. You might even want to write this down, because there's so many different diets out there. There's the carnivore diet, the vegan diet, so many other things, and you're like, what do I do? Some people are saying vegan diets are unhealthy. Some people are saying that they're the only way to health. Basically, anytime after you eat, you feel one of 3 things. You feel worse, you feel about the same, or you feel better. Choose the things that make you feel the same or better. Cut out the things that you don't. So, for example, when I eat, 2 donuts because I'm craving them, afterwards, I get a little quick sugar rush, and then I kind of feel a little bloated, a little tired, kind of like that crashy feeling. That makes me feel worse. In the morning, I think this morning for breakfast, I had a green juice and some sourdough toast with some peanut butter and banana. After that, I felt energized. I felt rested. I had just gone for a fasted run. I felt really good. So I'm incorporating that, and I'm sticking to that. There's more specific nutrition things that you can do. You can bulk, you can cut, you can track your macros and your calories. A good rule of thumb is if you want to get leaner, eat 500 below your maintenance. Ask ChatGPT what your maintenance is. It will tell you by just punching in some information about your height, your weight, your activity levels, stuff like that. To bulk, about 500 calories above, eat a little bit more food. But if you're not bulking or cutting, nutrition is pretty simple. Just, do you feel better or worse after you eat a given food? And then occasionally just, treat yourself, and occasionally enjoy the donut, the ice cream cone, whatever it is. Another thing too is hydration. So one of the things that I used to struggle with was bloating in my face. I actually still struggle with it a little bit. I ate a kind of high, salty, carby diet. Just as a hockey player, I needed those carbs and that sodium to kind of perform at my best level. But I'd get a little bit bloated in my face. And so now I really try to push myself to get in a gallon of water a day. I'm not always perfect, but getting in enough hydration will really de-bloat your body and just make you feel so much better. When you feel thirsty, that isn't the first signal that you're dehydrated. That's your body's last signal. When you feel that little kind of tired feeling when you're at work or in class or something like that, that's usually because you're dehydrated. When you feel the need for a midday nap, which can be great, I enjoy midday naps, usually you're dehydrated. So I have like a glass jar, gallon thing of water. Get one of those and then get your gallon in a day, and you'll kind of, you'll start to notice like you're a little bit less hungry, a little more energy, and you're kind of a little more debloated. Even after like a heavy, carby, kind of salty meal, you won't get that kind of bloated, puffy, warm feeling in your body afterwards. Also, sleep. Sleep is super important. I am not a perfect sleeper. I'm not great. In fact, actually, when I was younger, I used to struggle with a little bit of minor insomnia. But sleep is so important for mental and physical function and well-being, especially if you're doing the first two steps of eating right and exercising. You need to recover. People do all kind of weird things outside of the gym for recovery. They put things on their legs and do electroshock therapy. But the best recovery for your mind and for your body is sleep. What I recommend is, I don't get too specific about finding a specific set time to go to sleep. I know that's recommended. What I try to aim for, though, is that I at least stay in bed for 8 hours. So even if I get about like 7 hours of sleep and I'm kind of waking up a little tired, that kind of feeling of laying in bed in the morning a little tired and just kind of gently closing your eyes and being half asleep is still actually resting your body. So get in good sleep. Also, sleeping in a colder environment can kind of help. There's some other things you can do. Again, I always just ask ChatGPT, look up a YouTube video. There's so many things you can do for your sleep. Not eating a little bit before bed can help, or having a little bit of protein before bed can help. Taking a shower in the evening can help as well with sleep. Sleeping in a darker environment. There's nose strips. There's all kinds of things you can do. So important. It takes such a small investment to feel so much better. Sleep is important, and being well rested and mentally alert will allow you to be happier, more intelligent, which will lead you to glow up. So that's number 2. Number 3 is hygiene and self-care. So this is one that I've kind of been working on in the past few years. Not that I ever had bad hygiene, but what I mean by hygiene is like those little extra steps that kind of put you above the mark. So like if you're watching this, you probably shower, you probably are clean. That's all good, well and good. But hygiene is different. Hygiene is self-care is going even a step beyond that. So like making sure like you moisturize your skin out of the shower, moisturize your face. Maybe you have a facial cleanser. There's all kinds of things you can do for skincare and other things like that. I used to struggle with acne as a kid. When I fixed my diet, when I started exercising, when I drank the gallon of water, a lot of that started to die down, but also having a little bit of a skincare routine. I now put SPF on my face. I found that really, really helps. Also making sure you have white teeth. If you want to whiten your teeth, swish a little hydrogen peroxide with baking soda. Kind of just like swish it around, brush it around. Will help. These are all little things you can do. Like I used to get a unibrow here. Pluck that, trim it up. You can dermaplane your face. There's little things you can do to go just a step above and beyond, and those little things kind of give you that extra sense of confidence. It's not just about looking good. It's like, oh, I didn't just like shower this morning. Like I did my whole hygiene routine. I did my whole self-care routine. Get a cologne that you like, smell good. That one's a huge one for me. Like when I got a cologne that I kind of vibed with and stuff like that, you don't want to overdo it, but I was getting compliments left and right. What's the saying? Like look good, feel good, perform good. So there's more things you can do for your hygiene than what you're already doing. And a lot of them aren't even just about your body. Also making sure you have a clean environment. My room is not messy right now, but I make sure to make my bed every morning. I wash my sheets, wash my pillow covers like every week or so. I make sure my space is clean the kitchen, clean the bathroom, clean your car out too. Anywhere where you're spending a lot of time, part of being mentally rested in that glowed up state, in that happy, healthy new frequency, is making sure you have a clean space. It's such a small step. I heard this other quote that said, if you want to clean out your mind, start by cleaning your room. If you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling overwhelmed, just start by cleaning your room. Throw on some music, throw on an audiobook in the background, and just do little things to stay organized. You don't got to be perfect. You don't got to be OCD, but it really, really helps. So that's step 3, hygiene, clean room. Step 4 is style, wearing clothes that you like. And now for me, I would not say that I have really good style. I mostly shop at thrift stores, secondhand, occasionally buy some Gymshark stuff. However, you know that feeling when you get to the end of your drawers and you get that shirt, and that shirt is like it's a B tier shirt. It's like, oh, I don't hate this shirt, but I don't love it. There's something about the fit. There's something about the feel that's just kind of And you'd rather be wearing another shirt, but you haven't done laundry in 2 weeks, so you don't got that shirt that you want to wear. Get rid of those clothes. Those jeans that are a little too tight. Those shorts that just, I'm not really vibing with them. The shirt that you don't like, get rid of those. Imagine if every single day the clothes that you were wearing, whether to the gym or to school or to work or whatever it is, were A-tier clothes. Like, you know that feeling when you do your laundry, you get that, like, your favorite shirt that just, like, it might not even look super cool, but it just feels good. There's something about the fit. There's something about the way that it hugs your arms or the way that it lays down on your body that's just nice. It just feels good. That's been huge for me. Also, Pinterest is really huge. As a guy, I don't know a lot of guys that go on Pinterest. I know a lot of girls who do, but that is great for, like, outfit inspiration, great for, like, room stuff. Pinterest is great. They got a lot of good stuff on there. Hairstyle stuff, too. I'm not like a fashionista. I don't know a ton about this, but these are things that have worked for me. So that can really help as well. So style, finding the clothes that you like to wear, like finding what your vibe is. You know, like you can, if you're a skater, start dressing a little more like a skater. If you're a gym guy, gym bro, start dressing a little more like a gym bro. You might find that it makes you more confident. You don't have to put yourself in a box. You don't have to obsess about it. But wearing clothes that feel good when you're in them, and you kind of look in the mirror and you're not like obsessed with yourself, but you're like, all right, I'm looking pretty good right now. Good tip for glowing up. All right, number 5, the last one is cleaning out your mind mentally, changing the thoughts you think and changing the way you see yourself. There's a ton of things you can do physically to glow up. There's all kinds of skincare. We covered exercise, nutrition, sleep, all these other kind of things. But ultimately, you bring your mind with you everywhere you go. And if you exercise all the time, you got the perfect nutrition and you got the perfect style, but your thoughts are negative, your energy is going to be negative. You know when you walk in a room and you could just, or maybe you walk into a room and you see someone and you haven't even spoken to them yet, but they just have a good vibe that they're giving off. The vibe that you get from them is like, oh, I kind of want to like go talk to that person. I just want to be near that person. Other times, you start talking with someone and you get the opposite vibe. You're like, oh, something is off about that vibe. I don't know what it is. Our thoughts are these little energy bubbles, and our feelings are too, that radiate off of us and influence others. And so when you're grateful for your life, when you're happy, when you're relaxed, when you're giving yourself grace when you mess up, when you're focused on what it is that you want to accomplish, you radiate a certain frequency of energy to other people that is palpable. People start to pick up on it. And so the 5th step to glowing up is to change your thoughts. And now I could give you some meditation technique or something like that. Meditation's a great tool. Visualization's a great tool. But the best tool, in my opinion, is just thinking better thoughts, because that's free. You can do that anytime. You can be on a set of bench press at the gym and just think to yourself, man, I'm really proud of myself for getting out to the gym today, and just hit that set. You can be driving in the car and you're seeing a beautiful sunset, and you can just tell the universe, thank you that I'm getting the chance to see this beautiful sunset. You can be eating a meal and just give thanks for the meal. There's so many little ways that you can practice gratitude and positive thinking. It's very, very simple, and it's free. So do a meditation, do a visualization, but what I recommend even more than that is just think positive thoughts. So those are 5 steps to glowing up. I was speaking a little bit fast because I didn't want this video to go on too long, because I want to get a lot in there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy content like this, I post all kinds of self-mastery content, mind, body, spirit. Talk about the gym, might start doing some gym vlogs, stuff like that. Also just like talking to the camera and talking about things that have worked for me in my life, so that maybe you can find things that will work for you. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.